Hey there, Dynamite fans. Come join us here at The Experience this Monday, February 27th, 6 p.m. Eastern, our usual time. We're going to have all your favorites. Dynamite, Marvel, DC. I'm sure we'll talk about a lot of stuff. I don't know, the guys talk about nonsense all the time, whether it's with food or sports or whatever. I kind of zone out. But it'll be a great time nonetheless. Remember, it's the 27th, Monday, 6 p.m., only on The Experience. See you then.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. In fact, welcome to Rockin Robbie Live here on Pop Culture Philosophers. I am your host, Rockin Robbie Billups. How is everybody doing? We were off last week because of the Super Bowl, and we'll be off next week as well. However, tonight, we have each other. Welcome to Rockin Robbie Live, the show where we talk about movies, comics, pop culture, and a whole lot more. And just get this out of the way, have not seen Ant-Man yet. If you've seen Ant-Man, let me know what you thought about it, but let's keep the spoilers at bay because even I haven't seen it, right? But I am still excited to see it, even though it's got some mixed reviews here and there, whatnot. Anyway, tonight we got a great show planned. We'll be doing the DC sneak peek. Believe it or not, DC has comics out this week. I've read them. I'm going to let you know what I thought about them. We're going to have Marvel in the 90s, and we're going to have a special presentation on Ant-Man. Not from me, but from a friend of the show, so that's going to be a fun little bit. Show and tell, tastings, all of that, and a few little surprises. But this show is driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your comments, and your concerns. So get them in right now. What do you want to talk about? Once you get into the chat, throw out a station, maybe even a pop, pop, boom. You never know. I was hoping that my light wouldn't blow when I did that. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. This is going to be a great, grand old time. This is the show where I get to answer your questions, talk to you directly. But I do want to say that you can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. You can join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can also follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. And if you can check out our podcasts, we haven't done one in a long time. Let's be honest. But we got a website, popculturephilosophers.com. Podcasts are there. Blogs are there. We haven't done blogs in even longer. Okay. However, we got merch links, but you don't have to go to the website for that. You can get the merch links in the description below. All of that jazz and more. Also, I do want to say, you can help support the channel over at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP patrons right there. We thank you for your support and for your continued support, but all the support we need is a like, a share, a subscribe. Let everybody know this is the most happening, jiving place to be on Sunday nights here on Comics YouTube, Pop Culture YouTube, Movies YouTube, whatever you want to call it. It's Rockin Robbie YouTube on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Anyway, you can get $15 in Whatnot credit at whatnot.com/invite/the Rockin Robbie, and you can save 10% at dynamicforces.com with code Robbie. They got some cool stuff up there, and I do think I used the wrong Dynamite promo for my show on the EXP tomorrow. I think we're doing a show. It is President's Day. I think I need to know if we're doing a show tomorrow because I put that promo up, and I'm like, why'd she say the 27th? Why's she saying the 27th? Anyway, wait, what day is it? I'm so confused. 27th, that's next week. Yeah, I ran the wrong promo. Or we're not doing a show tomorrow. I have no idea. I guess we need to find out. You can also support the channel with the Super Chat, but once you get in here, let me know that you're in here. What's coming up here, though, at PCP? Well, first of all, we got mystery boxes available. There are only 10 available this week. They're $30. That includes shipping. They're going to come with comics, some toys, some surprises, trading cards, all kinds of stuff like that. If you're interested, email us at popculturephilosophers@gmail.com. I'll send you an invoice, and then you'll be added to the list of mystery boxes to be shipped out starting this week. So if you're still waiting on your mystery box, have no fear. It's coming out this week. We got Dylan's Horror Show on Saturday night. That's going to be talking about Two Evil Eyes. It's a really great film that I absolutely adore. Two Edgar Allan Poe stories adapted into film, one by George Romero, one by Dario Argento. So that's going to be a cool, fun conversation. That's upcoming this Saturday night on Dylan's Horror Show. But before that, check out Scarpad Sci-Fi Sojourns. That'll be tomorrow at, I think he goes live at 6:45 p.m. Central. They're talking about Sunshine, a really underrated Danny Boyle film. But after that, PCP Movie Night, the last PCP Movie Night before March Madness. We're going to be talking about the classic Cyborg starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. And then after that, we're taking a break for PCP Movie Night for a week, and then we come back with March Madness in collaboration with Dylan's Horror Show, where we'll be talking about Clown, Tenebrae, The Black Cat, Dressed to Kill, Triangle, Don't Torture a Duckling, American Psycho, and Itchy the Killer. So how is everybody doing? Let me take a look at the chat, see what is everybody up to. We got GT Key Comic in the house. What is up, my man? Ouroboros Snake says, Hatless Robbie is a hunk. Not gonna lie, that makes me feel pretty good. Thank you for saying so. Thank you. Still got to grow it out a little bit. I'm not gonna grow it out like Jim did. Like Jim Mint, grew his hair. He went Saiyan right before our very eyes. Anyway, thank you very much. We got the artist formerly known as Jesse C. What? It's been a minute since I've caught a live stream, but Station. Hell yeah. Two Gun Pedro's in the house. Pew pew. How are you doing, my man? Hey, we got Perry Station, my man. How you doing? Hey, what's up, Sam? How you doing? Sam just had to go through all this BS where he had to restart his Facebook and everything. You were talking, I saw that you mentioned that it was really frustrating to do. I feel you, brother. Sorry. But I'm here for you, whatever you need. Hey, what's up, Jorm? How are you doing? Are we live yet? Station, PCP Army, and all the chat. Rockin Robbie, I had an awesome weekend. Let's keep it going. Yeah, I had a great weekend, too. Let's keep that shit going, y'all. Perry says, funny, I have a Super Bowl tonight, too. I like that. That's nice. That's nice. Trade Paper Dad's in the house. Says, no spoilers. I will see it tomorrow. Talking about Ant-Man. When am I going to see Ant-Man? I was for the last few weeks, I kept talking to people. I kept talking to Jay Strict. I kept talking to other people hey, man, we going to go see Ant-Man? We going to go see Ant-Man? People yeah, let's go see Ant-Man. Then the time came and we're oh, fuck, Ant-Man's out. Ant-Man's out. Oh, well. And we just, and what is that saying, though? Here's the thing. I haven't watched Ant-Man. I am excited to watch it. I want to see Jonathan Majors as Kang in a major way. And so there's that. But I don't care as much anymore to have to watch these movies as soon as they release. It used to be like an event, right? And I loved that about the Marvel films. I loved that about so many films. Films used to be like an event for me. Every week there was some release I could get excited for. It was an event to go to the theater. That's been happening less. And I'm not saying that I don't mind going to the theater by myself, because actually I think that's a grand experience to Go to a movie theater by yourself, especially in the middle of the day when like nobody else in the theater. You just got you, your snacks, your vape, and nobody else, and a movie, hopefully a good movie. And I don't know. There's just less that I'm interested in. There's some movies, though, I want to check out. Infinity Pool is one I really want to check out that's out. Ant-Man, obviously. I got to watch it. Maybe I'll try to make time this upcoming weekend. Got to make the time. Maybe. Oh, Thursday, we're doing the end of the month comic book stream. I was about to be like, maybe Thursday night. And I was like, nope. Thursday night, the end of the month comic book stream. Best comics of February. Me, I think Nick is there. Hopefully Manny. Hopefully Greg. Hopefully Brian. I guess I got to make sure to remind them that it's time. Anyway, there is definitely... I was talking to Mike the other day about this because Mike was expressing some stuff to me about how he was going to wait for Disney Plus for Ant-Man. And I'm like, but it's Kang. And he goes, I don't care. Should have ended with Endgame. They should have waited a few years and then made us wait for it, right? And I think Disney has acknowledged that Marvel Studios has been way too much of quantity over quality. And I think they're toning it down, scaling it back a little bit. And I think that's going to be good. Because we haven't seen anything really yet from James Gunn's DC Universe. However, there is some interest sparking there. And now Marvel maybe has some competition because it's been a little bit lackluster since Endgame. I mean, they've had things that I love. I adore WandaVision. For the most part, I like Ms. Marvel. Movie-wise, though, like I like Doctor Strange. I know Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness gets a bad rap from people. I actually really like it. I gave it a 4.5. That's ridiculous. It's like a 3.69 at best, I think. But it is something I enjoyed. And I enjoyed it way more than the first one. But for instance, a lot of people like Shang-Chi. I didn't really like Shang-Chi. A lot of us just hate Eternals. Love and Thunder. More like Love and Blunder. Anyway, going back to the chat. CTA Frank has retracted his message, but I appreciate the sentiment. I have no idea what you had said. So there you go. Hey, Mark McGrath is in the house. Hello, Mirror Universe Robbie. Yes, the Mirror Universe Robbie has come about. Has come about? What does that even mean? That's the fake laugh. Ha, I just figured it out. Rogue Collecting is in the house. What is up, my man? What is up, Twitch? I think we need a super chat so Robbie can get a new hat. I'm intentionally not wearing a hat right now. However, if you want a super chat, I do need a Cowboys hat. I don't have a Cowboys hat. So I got my Yankees hat, got my Lakers hat. I need a new Trash Pandas hat. So yeah, we'll invite super chats, and of course super chats always wind up with some kind of ridiculousness associated with them. Easy Reader, what is up, my man? CTA Frank says Ant-Man 3.69. Okay, that's decent actually. Perry's like, oh snap, so I don't work tomorrow? I don't know. You might need to call the office and check. Like, I don't want you to get in trouble and then be like, yeah, but Rockin Robbie told me I didn't have to go to work. The mic is hot when I switch to images. All right, let's try this out again. Check. Oh my goodness. Check. Whoa. Wow. Check. Now, yeah, you're right. Wow. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, it's the mystery box one in particular. Wow, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. My bad. Yeah, everybody's talking about how loud that one was. I'm sorry. Artistic Flavors in the house. What is up, my man? Man Cave Theater. Nova 69, dudes. Pop, boom. Two Gun Pedro says March Madness is going to be fire. Yeah, R.I.P. Richard Belzer from one of the, NYPD, right? Wait. Or is it Law and Order? What the hell was he on? I know you guys are going to tell me, but I won't see it till later. Is it NYPD Blues or what's the name of that show? Law and Order. Okay, there we go. Was there a show called NYPD Blues? Is that the one with Dennis Franz? Is that his name? Anyway, he was on Homicide: Life on the Street, Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Yeah, I hated to hear that about him passing. Hey, we got Kenneth in the house. Hey, what's up, Ouroboros? How you doing? Appreciate the compliment about my hair. You know, I'm not going to let it go to my head. No pun intended. Perry says, haven't seen Ant-Man, but I was hanging out with my uncle, man. That's just stupid enough for me to really like it. Trade Paper Dad says, all my non-comic friends said Ant-Man was great. Kadazzle says, Endgame was definitely the last grand event. Trade Paper Dad says, I'm going middle of the day while at work. Perry says, MCU, show me some boobs. I might go to the movies. Movies are better with boobies. I agree. Twitch says, saw Ant-Man, solid 3.5 out of 5. Some of the laughs were more about how incredibly cringe-inducing they were more so than the humor itself, but solid story. Kang is awesome. We got Big Herm in the house. What is up, Station Big Herm? Kags is in the house. What is up? Atari. Good to see everybody here. Twitch says, I'm working a double tomorrow. First 8 hours will be 2 times the pace. Second 8 hours will be 2.5 times. Good luck with that. Trenton says, Ant-Man was good, but not great. Kang was awesome. Can't wait to see more of him. Boobies make most everything better. I mean, there's certain things that boobies wouldn't make better. Well, I don't know. I was about to say like the proctology exam, but you know, actually it'd probably be a little bit easier. Anyway, weird tangent. So, how's everybody doing? All right, let's officially kick off the show tonight with our First Five. Hey everybody, I'm Rockin Robbie. Welcome to the First Five tonight on Rockin Robbie Live here on Pop Culture Philosophers. And we're going through the 1995 Fleer Ultra Spider-Man set. We are now in team-ups. And team-ups is just a way for these artists to do other characters aside from Spider-Man and Spider-centric characters. It's funny that I say that because the first one up is Black Widow. And it's that 90s version of Black Widow. So she's got the jacket. She's got that grayish black costume. I love this era for Black Widow. But that's a really cool card, and that is Chris Hawks. Then we've got Captain America. Captain America is roidy in this one. Absolutely insane. Crotch shot there. Super muscular. 90s out, man. That is Mark Sasso. Then we got Daredevil. Oh, that's Mark Teixeira. You can totally tell that. Look at that beautiful. See, like, I have had this set forever. Never really looked at him. So being able to look at him through the first fives here are absolutely fantastic. That is a great Daredevil by Mark Teixeira. Hell yeah. Then we got Deathlock. Deathlock was a big deal back in the 90s, y'all. Still could be a big deal. That's Bob Larkin. He's been doing some really good ones in this set. Ooh, a Doctor Strange. That is amazing. Ray Legault. Wow, look at that. That's gorgeous. I got to find another copy of this card to hand off to Brian Weaver. All right, and that has been your First Five. Yeah, it's been the First Five. How is everybody doing? Perry says, would have made Captain Marvel a great movie. I actually like Captain Marvel, Perry. I know a lot of people don't like it, or a lot of people jump on it. A lot of people don't like Brie Larson. I don't mind Brie Larson. I think Brie Larson's a cutie. I actually like Captain Marvel. I felt like a mid-90s action film. Like, I got that vibe from it. I was enjoying it. I liked the camaraderie, almost, if you will, between Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson. I know it's not a popular opinion, but I'm not afraid of having unpopular opinions. But I like Captain Marvel, and when we reviewed it here, I gave it 4 ya digs out of 5. I'd be curious to see how I would revisit it Maybe that's something I should do is read. I don't think I've seen Captain Marvel since the first time I've seen it, actually. Now, we already did building up into Endgame, I believe. I guess I did, because we built up into Endgame, I think it was, with Movie Mondays when we were doing movie reviews in studio, and we did all the MCU again week to week. It'd be interesting to do it again, but I can't commit the time to it. That's a lot of fucking movies. That's a lot of damn movies, to be honest with you. But I'll tell you what. And I even said this when we did the Miss Marvel thing, right? And I'm just saying, so at the end of Miss Marvel, when Captain Marvel shows up, Brie was looking good, yo. And I think I'm into Brie Larson, y'all, just so you know. So y'all keep my girl's name out your mouth. I'm cracking myself up tonight. All right. Where are we at? I'm sure that's going to bring some comments. I like Captain Marvel. Tugan Pedro says, boobies didn't make blood-sucking freaks better. You're right. According to Joe Bob Briggs, there were 78 breasts in that movie, and I still gave it a 0. First movie and only movie I've ever given a 0. In fact, I don't know if I could ever give a movie a 0 because I need blood-sucking freaks to stand out as the worst movie I've ever seen. Because it has torture, it's got death, it's got decapitations, it's got crude irreverency, it's got nudity, it's got a lot of exploitation in it, and it was the most dull, boring movie I'd ever seen. Herm says, I saw Ant-Man today, really enjoyed it. 4 backlogs. All right. 4 out of 5. Hey, Spilios in the house. I have something to say. It's better to burn out than fade away, my man. Have you seen, by the way, Spilio and Perry, they finally started updating the list for MegaCon. Let's go over this real quick. Because forever, there was no guest list for MegaCon. Now, I plan to be at MegaCon. I plan to be there with my buddy Kevin Stokes, comic book artist, professional he is. I also plan to be there with Mike the Voice Matthews. Some of the people that were supposed to go with us had to back down. Still don't know about Robbie from Earth 2. But let's take a look at this. Comic book-wise, right now, we got Joe Quesada. Very excited for that. I've met Joe Quesada one time back in like 2002. He won't remember me. We got Mark Brooks. That's cool. Josh Williamson, friend of the show. We've had him on the show. It's going to be cool to see him in person, to meet him in person. Frank Cho. That's awesome. Donnie Cates, Ryan Stegman, and Ryan Otley. Never met any of them. Jeff Loeb. Never met him. Ed McGuinness. Haven't met. Jay Lee canceled his Heroes Con appearance, so I want to meet him. Simon Bianchi. Jerry Duggan. Clayman. Mitch Gerards. Really pumped to see him. Benjamin Percy, Steven Sokovia, Tedesco's there. Jim Shooter. I did a panel with Jim Shooter. He's going to act like he remembers me, but he won't remember me. But Jim Shooter's awesome. Anacleto. Mirka Andolfo's going to be there. I might get my erotic cover of Sweet Paprika #1 signed by her. Josh Cassara, Clayton Crane. Hide your wives. Mike DiCarlo, Sam De La Rosa. I've met him. Yeah. Scott Hanna's going to be there. That's cool. I've never met him. Greg Horn. I've met Greg Horn. Greg Land, Bob McLeod, Bill Morrison. That's cool. I need to get some. I got the. A shadow? Well, Matt Groening's the one that actually is credited for that, but it's probably not him. David Nakayama's going to be there. Joe Rubenstein, Alex Siviak, Arthur Sudam, Frank Thierry. That's cool. So it's a cool, interesting comic book creator list. However, man, there are way too many celebrities at this thing, and I'm not usually the celebrity guy. You guys know me; I'm a horror guy, right? So there's James McAvoy. That's cool. I'm not gonna, Gwendolyn Christie, John Cleese, John Bernthal, but y'all, most of the cast of Cobra Kai is gonna be there. Ralph Macchio and William Zabka are gonna be there, and that's Daniel and Johnny, and and Kreese is gonna be there, and Hawk and Miggy. How do I not try to get meeting all this? This is going to be way too expensive of a trip if I meet all of them, because Hayden Christensen, Chevy Chase, Zachary Levi, Rosario Dawson, Vincent D'Onofrio, Christina Ricci. That's one I'm really considering. Sam Raimi, though, is my number one. Sam Raimi is going to be appearing at MegaCon. I don't care how long I have to wait, what it takes. I'm meeting Sam Raimi. But then, we have Matthew Lillard, Jamie Kennedy, Skeet Ulrich, and Nev Campbell. Henry Winkler's there too. I've met him. But we have like a Scream reunion going on. How do I not? Giancarlo Esposito's there. There's so many, Carl Weathers, so many people I would like to meet that it's easy for me to be like, maybe next time, maybe some other life. But y'all, Nev Campbell, I got to meet. Skeet Ulrich, I got to meet. And then I would feel bad not meeting Jamie and Matthew. But Sam Raimi's number one. But man, Ralph Macchio and William Zabka, that would be a dream. Anyway, so there you go. What do y'all think about the MegaCon list? And are you going to be there? We're like a month and a week away or something. It's coming up way too quickly, to be honest with you. Mark, what is up? Hey, Steph is in the house. How you doing, buddy? Good show last night on Dylan's Horror Show. We got Glenn in the house. What is up, Station, my man? All right, I'm seeing the Captain Marvel comments. Perry says, yeah, you gave it a 4 and boobs would have made it a 5. You might be right about that. Mark says, Captain Marvel is okay. How Nick Fury lost his eye was beyond lame after all the build-up. I get you on that one. Hey, what's up, Eric? How you doing? Twitch says, there's only 30 movies at this point. Steph says, Cap Marvel was a solid 3.69 for him. Are you watching The Last of Us, says Raphael, and if so, do you like it? I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it all. I hear lots of good things about it. I want to check it out, but I just have not found the time. Life has gotten a little bit busier. There's a lot of excitement going on in my life right now, a little bit of change, a little bit of perspective altering, a little bit of finding oneself, a little bit of exploring new things. And I just want to tell y'all, I'm incredibly fucking happy right now in my life, and things are going great. Like, better than maybe any time that we've ever had Pop Culture Philosophers going. Like, to be honest with you, I feel really good right now. And I'm sorry that I haven't really been here as often as I should. And we've been missing some shows here and there, but we're bringing that balance back, and I'm ready to gear up and go, because next week we're taking a week off for Rockin Robbie Live because I got a work project going on at my comic shop. But then we're going to do like at least 4 or 5 consecutive Rockin Robbie Lives, and we're going to get back to that fun vibe that we have here on Sunday. But I want you all to know that I am in a really cool spot right now, and I feel very happy about it, and hell yeah. And we're going to make PCP and the Army and this whole community even better as we progress into the future. By the way, we're like 300 away from 15,000 subscribers. So I think it's time to start being like, hey, PCP Army, let's share the shit out of this channel. Let's hit 15K. There are some really exciting things on the way that I can't talk about yet, but we have top tier creators wanting to come back onto the show. We've got top tier publishers wanting to work with us. We've got mid tier publishers wanting to work with us. We got exciting projects in the works. So, lots of cool stuff's about to be happening here in PCP land. And I know we always say that, but we always deliver. Why do we deliver? Because of y'all. Thank you so much for the support. Twitch says, Captain Marvel was the first Marvel movie to hold my daughter's attention. That's awesome, Twitch. Ouroboros says, Bree's a cutie. Captain Marvel needs a rewatch, but it made the character's lore interesting to me, albeit being different. Perry says, hey, MegaCon, let's go. Who's going to wait in line with me for Sam Raimi? I've met Ted Raimi. I've met Bruce Campbell twice. Now it's time to meet Sam fucking Raimi. And tell this dude, when I meet him, I'm going to be like, bro, you're so important to me. Like, The Evil Dead, the original, it's like one of my favorite movies ever. Like, oh my God, like you're such an inspiration to me. You directly influence my work and this and my life. And he's going to be like, oh, you're a filmmaker? And I'm going to be like, no, I'm a YouTuber. I love the hell out of Sam Raimi, yo. I really do. I'd be like, I love every single one of your movies except for Love of the Game. I'm not going to say that. Is he watching? What if he's watching? What if he's watching and calls me out on it when I meet him? He goes, "You're that fucking Rockin' Robbie Live guy who doesn't like fucking For Love of the Game." Yeah, that is a hell of a lineup. What is up, Ariaga? How are you doing? The wives from Crane, I'm dead. Yeah. Yeah, I hear Two Gun. I hear that Bueller's going to be at MegaCon. I gotta message him and actually confirm that. I also think that Jim Mint might be at MegaCon, and so if that happens, for the first time, you would have Bueller, Robbie, and Jim Mint in the same place together. And there's always a chance Comic Tom might show up, and Perry's going to be there. It's going to you guys got to make it to MegaCon. It sounds like it's going to be a Mecha-Con, more so than a MegaCon, if that makes sense. Joe says, I met Kane Hodder, cool dude. I've met Kane Hodder too. I was wearing a Cowboys hoodie, and he goes, what's that supposed to be, a football team? And I'm like, some might say, and he goes, I don't say it. And I was just like, and then he kind of smirked at me. He goes, what's your name? It was a really cool interaction, though. Kane Hodder was great. Tons of dope peeps, I know. Yeah, it's Sam Raimi, man. Like, Sam Raimi. I want to meet Sam Raimi, Ralph Macchio. I want to meet William Zabka, who is it Zabka? Yeah, who's Johnny Lawrence. I want to meet those three, and then I want to meet as many of the cast of Scream as I can. And the comic book people are cool, too. Mostly, I'm excited to see Josh Williamson because we've had him on the show. And so that's going to be cool to chat with him because he's got a new Superman book out this week. We're about to be talking about it on the DC Sneak Peek. And yes, for my wall of fame in my apartment here, it's like right behind that wall. You know, I got my Linnea Quigley autographs and my Kane Hodder, my Bruce Campbell, Ted Raimi, my Doug Bradley. I got all these autographs for my horror fandom, and I really would love to add four actors from Scream, one of my favorites. That'd be great. Neighborhood Merc is planning on being at MegaCon also. Hell yeah. Spelio says, I can't wait, brother. Plus, meeting you will be a huge plus. Yeah, and we're going to get fucked up, man. We're going to get trashed, Spelio. I'm just kidding. We're going to have a good time, though. Steph says, yeah, I'll be at MegaCon in spirit. Bro, you need to come on. No Ouroboros. I'm not on shrooms, but that, you know, not now is what I'm saying. Is your work project dealing with the Marvel Alex Ross Timeless Villains covers? No, it's not what that work project is, but that's been a goddamn project is ordering those because you know that people want them. But at the same time, you're like, how many copies of Captain Marvel can I really confidently order? But those covers are great. Travo here is new to this gang. Love hearing these great vibes. Love your content. Happy for you. Hell yeah. Thank you for joining us. Station. Two Gun says, I'm happy that you're happy, Robbie. Well, I'm happy that you're happy that I'm happy. Thank you for being happy. Raphael says, I'm glad and happy for your happiness. Thank you. I'm happy that you're happy for my happiness. That brings me happiness. I'll wait with you. I want to ask if he likes ramen. Like ramen noodles? Be like, do you like ramen? There's this really cool place. You need to come hang out with me and Robbie. We'll be like, we're YouTubers, man. Like, you don't want to fuck up and, like, not go to dinner with me and Perry right now and get some goddamn ramen. You don't want to fuck up and have us just, like, shit on all of your movies. The Last of Us is good, not great. I love the VG and felt the very first 3 episodes were just okay. Last week was one of the best episodes so far, says Ariaga. Kadazzle says, I'm glad I found your channel because I was basically falling out with comics, so I'm happy you're succeeding at what you set out to do. Well, thank you so much. I'm happy that you have found the channel. Hope it brings a light to your life. Ask Sam Raimi to do an animated Evil Dead film. I'll tell him, William. John's Comics with Kids is coming too. Bro, we're going to have so much fun, Perry. We got to have a YouTuber night. We got to have at least one YouTuber night where we all get to like hang out together and like, I don't know, go get some sushi and some beer, some sake or something. Get fucking twisted, you know? We legal there. Oh, snap. If you need brownies among other herbs, let me know. Oh, yeah, okay. Bro, yeah, it's bright. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Are you going to Heroes Con? Yes. I don't plan on never going to Heroes Con. I always plan on going to Heroes Con every single year. That is my favorite con by far. By far. So we got MegaCon coming up. Then we got the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. And then we've got Heroes Con and Scarefest at the end of the year. And we'll see if we can fit another one in. I would love to. Yeah, it is Happyception in it. We're all just so goddamn happy tonight. Two Gun says, I'd also like to see you interview people within the horror industry, directors, actors, and such. Yeah, me too. Even though actors are pieces of shit. MegaCon is about to be lit. Yes, it is. So if you want to help support this awesomeness that is going to be MegaCon, we could always use super chats, and of course, PCP mystery boxes are available. All right, y'all, DC Comics has books out this week. Believe it or not, I've read them. I want to let you know what I think about them here on your DC Sneak Peek. All right, everybody, I'm Rockin Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers here on Rockin Robbie Live. We're going to be doing the DC Sneak Peek right now. First up, we got Clayface, One Bad Day. That's right, Batman One Bad Day, Clayface. So this is from Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing with Hermonico on the artwork. I really liked this one, okay? So I think that the One Bad Days, and the whole idea is that they're oversized, like 80-page one-shot comics that are kind of in the vein of The Killing Joke with Joker, and kind of like what Joker did for, or what Killing Joke did for Joker. Kind of give him an origin and a new place in DC continuity and a new fierceness, almost in a way, a new veracity, a new threat level. That's what they've been doing. And at first, I thought they kind of started out kind of shaky. I didn't really like the Riddler. I wasn't sold on the Two-Face one, but the Penguin one was decent. And then the Bane one was good. The Mr. Freeze one was fantastic. The Catwoman one was good. Now we got Clayface. This one's really good. It does kind of feel a bit rushed towards the end. Act 3 just kind of rushes into it a little bit too much. But aside from that, this is a fantastic Clayface story, a great one-and-done self-contained story. Kelly and Lansing did a really great job with the script, with having it relate to Hollywood, with having it relate to fans of, say, the animated series version of this character, as well as the comic book version, and really melding it all together and making it work. This was top-notch, and the artwork was super solid, too. Then we got Superman Space Age, issue number 3, the final issue of the Mark Russell, Mike Allred, Laura Allred comic book. Now, you know me. I'm a big mark for the Allreds, have been for, like, almost 30 years at this point, right? Absolutely love their work. The artwork in this is fantastic. The story is good, too. But I can't lie and tell you that I didn't have a sense of slight disappointment about the finale. I loved issue number 1. And issue number 2, I didn't like as much, but I did enjoy it. Issue 3 kind of kept more of the vibe from 2, less of that central focus that the first issue had. I felt like the first issue was way more Superman-based. This one kind of goes more into Justice League territory. I like that. I like seeing Mike Allred and Laura Allred do the artwork. I think it's absolutely splendid. However, story-wise, there's a lot fit in there, and now that it's here, I want to grab my other 2 issues. I'm pretty sure I know where they are, and sit down and just read it in one afternoon. I think it'll make a good experience, but it never quite hit that level that it had in the first issue. Then we got GCPD, The Blue Wall, issue number 5, the penultimate issue. I believe this is just 6 issues. In the last issue of this incredibly well-written police drama set in Gotham City that is not kooky or comic booky at all, but is very serious, very grounded, and very brutal. We hit a big turn at the last issue. We are now dealing with the fallout from that, and at the same time ramping the intensity up for the conclusion. I love this book. And if you think you can sleep on GCPD, The Blue Wall, Yeah, you can, but it's one of the best written comics that DC's putting out right now. It's got really solid artwork, but it's really just doing a great job of doing something that matters, that has significance to the Gotham continuity, and it's the best successor that we have ever had to Gotham Central by Ed Brubaker, Michael Lark, and Greg Rucka. Then we got Black Adam, issue number 8. This was a little bit of a lull issue for me. It was all right, but I kind of felt lost in the story again. That happens with Priest sometimes. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to Memphis Comic Expo as well. Christopher Priest is going to be there. Garth Ennis, Brian Pulido, Alan Davis, Kevin Eastman, who, I know Kevin Eastman. I did a panel with him last year, and that was great. I wonder if he'll remember me. I hope he remembers me. Anyway, Black Adam, this one was just all right. There's a flashback story in there, just kind of distracts me from the ongoing focus, so it just felt a little bit unfocused, this issue. Then we got The Flash with issue 793, the fourth part of the 1 Minute War. I like the idea of the 1 Minute War, but this one kind of is too explainy, too exposition-y, and it loses that dynamic quality, that sense of momentum and motion and movement that I love about the Flash comic. So this one was just all right, but it was probably the weakest part of the 1 Minute War so far. Then we got Nightwing 101. I picked this up. I was like, why does 101 feel so thick? We just had issue 100. Why does 101 feel thick? Why is it $4.99? Well, I don't know how much this is going to go, but they've added in a backup story to Nightwing now and charging us $1 more for a backup story that was quite subpar, to be honest. It's not written by Tom Taylor. It's a Superman, it's a Jonathan Kent, Superman, and Nightwing kind of team-up story, and it was all right. The main story is decent, kind of throwing back to some stuff that was set up in Nightwing 98, so just a few issues ago. It didn't quite feel the same kind of vibe, and it's maybe it's because it's not Bruno Redondo, but it is it's Travis Moore. Yeah, Travis Moore. The artwork's fine. We got Neron involved. It was a good issue. It was fine. I hate it when I feel like I'm complaining about Nightwing because the book is good, but I don't know if I don't really like the focus. They're focusing in now on the Titans and their importance in the post-Dark Crisis, and it's all right. It's okay. It's an okay issue. Then we got Lazarus Planet Omega. This is the big final issue of Lazarus Planet, though there's some threads that are going to be wrapped up in other not one shots. There's like a 4-issue series coming called like Revenge of the Gods or something like that. But it was all right. It's kind of a lackluster ending, and it doesn't even really end anything, even though it's Omega, because it just spins out its ending into Batman versus Robin number 5. So this is a weird structured kind of mini event here. Like I appreciate that the one shots were to like introduce new concepts and ideas and try to tie it all together, but just this whole story of the Lazarus volcano erupting and changing things, it feels like the scale just wasn't quite there. And I know that they were trying to make it feel very epic and big and bold, but it just didn't work for me as a story, as an event. And this conclusion, and it's not even a conclusion because it concludes into Batman versus Robin, it just makes a really muddy event. Very hard sell to people at the shop. Then we got Deceased, War of the Undead Gods, issue number 6 of 8, another excellent issue of Deceased. I think Tom Taylor soars and shines when he's doing these out-of-continuity kind of stories like Dark Knights of Steel. Where the hell's that been? Dark Knights of Steel, even his work on, say, Injustice and in Deceased. Some big, epic moments are happening here. We had the biggest moment in all of Deceased happen at the end of last issue, and they kind of topped that by the end of this issue, emotionally and just scale-wise and story-wise. That was really, really freaking cool. Then we got World's Finest. That's right, Batman Superman World's Finest, issue number 12. This is self-contained, one-and-done story with the guest artist Lou Pacino, who does a great job on the artwork here. This is chronicling the first failed date, the date from hell, of Robin, the Boy Wonder, and Supergirl. So Kara Zor-El and Dick Grayson did go on a date. They thought there might be some sparks. They had a terrible time. This basically talks about that. So it has this nice kind of fun, like this sense of fun and classic superhero comics about it that I thought was great. But the best DC book I read this week was Superman number 1. Kicking off more of the dawn of DC, Joshua Williamson is joined by Jamal Campbell. The artwork in this book is amazing. I talk a lot about what I think a Superman book needs artistically. First of all, we need a perspective. We're always kind of looking up at Superman or just feeling like he's bigger, larger than life, super dynamic and energetic. Y'all, look at that. Look at that artwork. This is what I'm talking about. Superman is bold, it's dynamic, It's kinetic. It is true to the character. There's some interesting things set up. We got a new role for Lois Lane. It's got a great wraparound cover, great dynamic artwork, and a really solid grasp on the character. Superman #1 sets up some really interesting things for the future of the Man of Steel. So to recap, Clayface, One Bad Day, loved it. Superman Space Age, love the art. Still just a little bit disappointed in that ending, though. GCPD, The Blue Wall, was absolutely fantastic. Black Adam kind of got muddy this issue. So did The Flash. Unfortunately, Nightwing is decent. I don't know. I want more Bruno Redondo. I want more Heartless. Because I'm heartless, and I'm back. Anyway, DC Universe, Lazarus Planet Omega, kind of disappointing. DCeased War of the Undead Gods was awesome. Batman Superman World's Finest was cute, but Superman #1 was a great start to the new chapter, the next chapter, if you will, of DC Superman comics. And that has been your DC Sneak Peek. All right, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be doing Marvel in the 90s and a special Ant-Man presentation. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be right back here on Rockin Robbie Live.
Hey there, Dynamite fans. Come join us here at The Experience this Monday, February 27th, 6 p.m. Eastern, our usual time. We're going to have all your favorites. Dynamite, Marvel, DC. I'm sure we'll talk about a lot of stuff. I don't know, the guys talk about nonsense all the time, whether it's with food or sports or whatever. I kind of zone out. But it'll be a great time nonetheless. Remember, it's the 27th, Monday, 6 p.m., only on The Experience. See you then.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
Hey everybody, welcome back here to Pop Culture Philosophers and Specifics. Welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live. I am your host, Rockin Robbie Billups. This is the show where we gather on Sunday nights, talk about movies, comics, pop culture, and a whole lot more. We've already had a great time tonight. We talked a little bit about how we haven't seen Ant-Man, right? But some people said they did see Ant-Man, and it seems like the average that we're getting from people out in the chat has been 3.5 out of 5. So that's actually pretty decent, in my opinion, right? Like, I remember giving Incredible Hulk a 3.5, right? So 3.5 is actually a good rating out of 5. If you really think about it, 7 out of 10. If you scale it up like that. We also did the DC sneak peek. We've had a grand old time. Coming up, we got Marvel in the 90s. We got a little bit of an Ant-Man presentation from someone who has some thoughts. I'm excited for that bit. A little bit of show and tell later on, all that jazz and more. And a few surprises tickled in here and there. Tickled in? Sprinkled in. Tickled in here and there. Anyway, thank you all for joining us tonight. This has been a great show. The third Rockin Robbie Live we've done so far in 2023. We got to step up that game. You know what I'm saying? We got to step up that game. Anyway, I want to say that you can follow me on Twitter at the Rockin Robbie. You can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, make it official. Join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can also check out popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts, merch, and a whole lot more, as well as supporting the channel over at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP patrons right there. We really do appreciate the support. You can also support with the super chat, which will trigger a Hellboy song. However, all the support we need is a like, a share, a subscribe, and a participation in the chat, in the conversation, because this show is driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your comments, and your concerns. So get them in right now. What do you want to chat about? PCP Army, station, pop, pop, boom. PCP mystery boxes are now available. We got 10 available this week. They are $30. That includes shipping. If you're interested, they contain comics, cards, other fun surprises. $30, including shipping. If you're interested, email us at popculturephilosophers@gmail.com. Tomorrow night on PCP Movie Night, we got Cyborg. That's right, the Van Damme classic. Before that, though, check out Scarpad Sci-Fi Sojourns as they talk about Sunshine, an underappreciated Danny Boyle film. And Saturday night on Dylan's Horror Show, we're going to be talking about Two Evil Eyes, which is 2 Edgar Allan Poe cinema adaptations. One from Dario Argento, one from George A. Romero. It's going to be a grand old time in the city tonight. How's everybody doing, station? Let's go back in the chat, see what we were talking about. KO is in the house. I just met Ralph Macchio. He has a new autobiography out. Free signing if you buy the book. Awesome. I should go buy that book right now. Hey, I got your book, bro. You gonna sign it? You gonna sign it? Spilio says, how was he? He's a honey. Thanks us all for coming. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Ronald's in the house. What's up, Ron? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. We got Nick from Comic Culture. What is up, Nick? You ready for Thursday? That's right, everybody. Thursday is the end of the month. Best comics of February. What are they? There have been some slim pickings this week, or this month, but we're making up for it this week, so everybody's got a lot of reading to do. Just going to say that. Hey, what's up, other Ronald? How are you doing? KO says, I have a photo of me and Ralph on my Facebook. KO, if you're part of the PCP Army, please share that. And if not, please join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group, and share that photo. I'd love to see it. Ronald says, hey, John, I would check to see what was happening. However, since I don't read comic books, this is all way over my head, but I dig Robbie's enthusiasm. Well, thank you. You definitely dig on some comic book artwork, though, and you got some good pieces. Nick says, I think I'm done with the Lazarus one-shots. Man, there's only one left. You got to read the end. It sucks, bro. Don't read it. KO says, it pays to live in New York City. The world comes to you. That makes a lot of sense. I got a message from Joe Corallo yesterday. It's a picture of him and Dave Gibbons. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? That's awesome. He's like, yeah, I just happened to be in London. Dave Gibbons was happening to do a signing. And it's like, you making me jealous, Joe. So he's over in the land of the UK. Hey, we got Shane in the house. Finally made it to a live stream. Well, thanks for joining us, Shane. We got Bobby in the house. What's up, Bobby? How you doing? Artistic Flavor says, for you digs for Ant-Man. Hell yeah. Yeah, precipitation. We need precipitation. Robbie, did you ever see those scrapped 5G plans? What did you think? I looked at some of them, and I thought they all kind of stunk, to be honest with you. It would have been a terrible thing to do, to be honest with you. Nick says, yeah, man, I'm ready. We should change the name of this month's show to the okayest books of the month. Not after this week. We got 20th Century Men this week. I think we get Ice Cream Man this week. And Junkyard Joe. I think we have Junkyard Joe, 20th Century Men, and Ice Cream Man. We have a true battle for pick of the fucking week. That is a true battle. Think about it. Ice Cream Man, 20th Century Men, and Junkyard Joe. How am I supposed to pick a pick of the week? What's it going to be? Find out Tuesday night on the weekly comic book review. Nick says, still processing Ant-Man. Ouroboros says, oh my God, they did suck, yeah. Mark says, good for Joe, living his best life, writing great comics, living it up. Yeah, meeting Dave Gibbons, legend in this industry. Empire Comics Station, how you doing? Good to see you. GT Key Comics, what is up? Waiting for Conan to come back. Heard Dark Horse has it now. Any news on the new series release date? No news yet. Excuse me. No news yet. Nope. Oh, here we go. What's this? All right, there's a Titan Comics one. Yeah, I didn't know if it was going back to Dark Horse. Titan Comics. Co-publishing project with the entertainment studio Heroic Signatures that would include a brand new Conan the Barbarian ongoing series. Today, they confirmed the creative team. This article I'm seeing is from Big Comic Page. I don't even know what the hell that is. Just not gonna worry about that. Okay, there we go. I guess they just copied and pasted this. The series will launch in May 2023 with a brand new series ongoing that will be a part of the Titan Comics 10th anniversary celebrations. So there you go. Looks like Titan Comics is doing Conan in May. Oh, is Saga out this week too? Let's look at all the bangers out this week. Because there's a lot of them. I cannot get my vape to... All right, there we go. Let's take a look at all the bangers out this week. Yep, Saga's out this week. Something is killing the children. The new Superman. That Clayface book's pretty freaking good. Oh, Immoral X-Men. We'll see. Ice Cream Man. Junkyard Joe. Saga. Doctor Strange, Fall Sunrise. Damn Them All. Blue Book, number 1. Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, number 4. Y'all, it's a week. Darkwing Duck. Spawn Unwanted Violence. Lovesick. Specs. Final issue of Specs. Local Man, a new one from our friend Tony Fleece. A new issue of Plush. Ronin, book 2, number 2. A new Barbaric. 20th Century Men. Oh, what a week. What do you think is going to be the pick of the week? It is a stacked week this week. And we've got Saga. We got Pink Lemonade, number 6, the final issue. Wow. We got 20th Century Men. We got Junkyard Joe. What do you think it's going to be? Empire Comics says Ant-Man 4 you digs out of 10. So that's a 2 out of 5. So that's 2 you digs. Wow, that's low. Hulk Grand Design Treasury Edition 2. Can that just get pick of the week again? It might, but it won't, because Ice Cream Man, 20th Century Man, and Junkyard Joe. Those are 3 books that pretty much always get the fucking pick of the week. They're battling it out this week. I already have those, don't I? Hold on a second, y'all. I'm looking at my email right now. Mm-hmm. I've actually had 20th Century Men for a while. Got Ice Cream Man, bruh. I've already flipped through 20th Century Men, number 6, and it looks great. Junkyard Joe, I'm flipping through it right now. Just flipping. Oh, man. No. All right, can't flip anymore. Shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that, y'all. Looking through Ice Cream Man right now. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, okay. I think this is going to be a good issue. Ooh, I think this is going to be a good issue of Ice Cream Man. Oh, shit, no. Why do I keep flipping? Oh. What is that? Y'all, I don't want to say anything, but I'm just going to say, if we want more like progression on the actual story of Ice Cream Man, I didn't read nothing. I just looked through it. I got the impression we're getting some of that. Yeah, I'm really pumped for that Hulk Grand Design Treasury Edition. The Fantastic Four one looks great. The X-Men ones look great. And this one, that's right, Jim Rugg is so awesome and golden that the Hulk Grand Design Treasury Edition will glow in a black light, y'all. And if you know Jim Rugg, you know that he does excellent work with black light. Like Octobriana, fucking amazing. Especially, like, I got the black and white. I got the 70s retro, but I got the black light one too. The black light, holy cow, that book looks amazing in black and white. How did I get a hold of them? At Heroes Con. First thing I did at Heroes Con, I found Jim Rugg, and I was like, do you have Octobriana? He goes, I have all of them here, and I have this, like, I only did 10 of these. This was my green copy, like, test print. So I got I was like, I want everything. So I got the sketchbook, the limited to 10 test prints. I got the newsstand, or the newsprint edition. I got the 70s retro color edition. I got the black. I got all of them. I got them all. I was like, I want them all right now, Jim Rugg. You give them to me. William says Gargoyles is also out. Yeah. I like Gargoyles, but it's kind of getting just a little bogged down for me. Darkwing Duck #1 was awesome, though. I'm pumped for issue 2. Nick says, looking forward to Black Cloak, Ice Cream Man, Joe, Once Upon a Time, Saga, Space Age, Lovesick, TMNT, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and Barbaric. Yeah, big week this week. Liquid Kill from Whatnot looks interesting as well. I want a Whatnot comic to wow me. That hasn't happened yet, but we'll see what happens. Art Brute was last week. I really, really enjoyed it. Nick says, we just need a whole video of Robbie reacts. No words, just a lot of, oh shit, what? Oh man. All right, let's do another one then. I've already flipped through 20th Century Men, so you wouldn't get an authentic impression of that. I have also read the final issue of Agent of World. I have no idea when the release date is, but Dennis hooks me up, and y'all, The final issue of Agent of World is the best one yet. I should have just left this up. All right. Let's see. What else we got here? Black Cloak. I didn't really dig on Black Cloak. We got Immortal Sergeant. Philadelphia. I don't read. Local Man. I haven't flipped through that one yet. Oh, Plush. Plush number 4. I stopped reading Undiscovered Country. But I do remember the song. Oh, America, the beautiful land of the free. We close ourselves off. How could it be? We shut down our borders from sea to shining sea. It's an undiscovered country. All right, flipping through Local Man right now, which is a new one from Tony Fleece. Tim Seeley as well. What did Tony do? Farmington art by Tony Fleece, created and written by Tim Seeley and Tony. Third Gen art by Tim Seeley. So it's the art's by Tim Seeley and Tony as well. Okay. Tony, friend of the show, hung out with that dude at Heroes Con. Bought him a beer. Super cool dude. I met him and Trish there. But he introduced me to Jason Latour. Yes. That was a great night. Philip Kennedy Johnson was there. Not Philip Kennedy Johnson. Daniel Warren Johnson was there. Stephen Green. Scotty Young. Jonathan Hickman. Wow, the art looks really good. I know that Tim Seeley's an artist, and of course Tony is. But we're used to seeing Tony do like My Little Ponies and shit like that. This is really good. Huh. Oh, okay. I think that's Tim Seeley. Yep, it sure is. Wow. All right. Obviously, it's a new number 1. So, I wasn't like, what? All right, looking through Plush number 4 now. Plush is a great book. Doug Wagner. Okay. Oh. Colors are really great in this one. I don't feel like we're getting... Oh, that's sweet. I don't feel like we're getting the same impact that we got with Ice Cream Man and Junkyard Joe. Okay. Yeah, that looks nice. All right. Sorry, guys. I thought we'd get another... Ice Cream Man looked badass, to be honest with you, but Junkyard Joe? I wish I had to stop. I wish I wouldn't have done that with Junkyard Joe. Hardcore Station. What's up, Louis V? Robbie, did you run off Claremont? Saw he dropped out of Huntsville due to a conflict. No, he did have a conflict of schedule or something, so Claremont had to cancel. That being said, though, we got Ron Friends coming. So now we have Tom DeFalco and Ron Friends. So you know what that means? First appearance of Nightcrawler. First appearance of Night Thrasher gets signed by the writer and the artist. So that's dope. I think I got my J2s too. I'm going to bring them. I'm going to bring my J2 number 1. Hey, what's up, Brian? How you doing? Good to see you. All right, y'all. It's time for one of our favorite segments here on Rockin Robbie Live. It's time for Marvel in the 90s. That's right, everybody. I'm Rockin Robbie here on Rockin Robbie Live on Pop Culture Philosophers doing Marvel in the 90s here on Rockin Robbie Live. This is Rockin Robbie. Today we're going to be talking about X Factor number 60, the third part of the Extinction Agenda, which is 12 issues long. And yeah, let's be honest, it's a bit padded, okay? This is kind of a padded issue. This is a lot of talking, a lot of getting certain things set up. It's written by Wheezy Simonson, with art by John Bogdanovov and Al Milgram there on the inking. Starts off, we got the president of Genosha. She comes in. Cameron Hodge is there being all damn crazy. In the last chapter, which was New Mutants something, we talked about that 2 weeks ago, Warlock is killed. So they're kind of talking about that. Genosha has admitted to killing Warlock, but they're trying to portray it as that they were invaded. Not that they've captured, right? But we're getting into all the political discussion of what's going on right now. So she needs Cameron. Cameron needs her. And they're all kind of working against each other. And that's what they're dealing with here in these opening scenes. The colors really come through in what I'm showing you here in this like digital version. The colors are a bit better on the newsprint. We'll show that off here in a little bit. But it doesn't add... Like the coloring, the artwork, it's okay, it's serviceable, but it's not doing anything exceptionally exceptional. You know what I'm saying? Cameron Hodge reveals a little bit of his plan here. See, he was decapitated by Archangel, so he's got a major hard-on against X-Factor and Archangel in particular. He's talking about that. He's articulating that, right? And then you got the idea of these other players being like, why are we admitting to this? And now we got the U.S. government having to respond. We get a lot of stuff throughout this issue of the media responding to the idea that although a techno-organic mutant, somebody was killed by Genosha, and it's starting this like it's starting this political divide between countries and stuff like that. We get a great, awesome 2-page spread. One thing I will point out here is in the newsstand, the newsprint edition of this, that blue behind Archangel and the ship pops so incredibly well. It's like, it's more of like a lavender, and it really, really works. By the way, X-Factor's ship right here looks exactly like one of the Captain Power ships, if you're familiar with that. So we got X-Factor and the remnants of the New Mutants and the X-Men kind of coming together. They're going to Washington to see what is the government going to do in response to the island, the island nation of Genosha stealing some of our people and admitting to having killed one of them. So you get a lot of conversation. Val Cooper shows up. She tells X-Factor, yo, officially, we can't negotiate with them, but unofficially, we've been talking to them. We're trying to figure out what's going on. Cable's is being a hard ass. He's like, yo, why did Storm cut me out? And all this kind of shit. And then we even get this bit. I guess it happens a little bit later on. You got Sunspot here getting really pissy. Boom Boom's gone, and we all love Pop Pop Boom Boom, you know what I'm saying? But Boom Boom's dad saying some like nasty shit about her on the news, and is pissing off Sunspot, and Cannonball's trying to calm him down. Cable's being a little bit of a dick, a little bit of an asshole. And that's what he is. He's a hard ass, right? Does he even realize that those are his parents right there? Does he even realize that that's his daddy? Like, I guess we get more of that in Executioner's song, because we even get this bit here where Cyclops gets to see his son. Y'all, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's Cable, right? That's like little baby Cable. So like, we got this weird thing where like Cable's there and like the baby version. Like, I'm not lying, right? Cyclops never had another son. I guess he hasn't been, I don't remember when he was whisked away to the future. Anyway, the government's basically like, y'all, mutants, we can't help that much. We're going to help a little bit, but we're not going to help that much. So they wind up going to Genosha anyway. When they land, they get immediately attacked. They get scoped out. They get spotted. They get attacked. And Cyclops gets the shit blasted out of him. But it doesn't hurt anything on him except for his clothes. It's because it's Havoc. It's his brother. So you got brother versus brother. Havoc versus Cyclops. Now, Havoc is brainwashed. He thinks he's a mutate. He thinks he's a magistrate. He thinks he was born on Genosha. And he's got all of his personality wiped away. And him and Cyclops have some unresolved issues. But their powers, because of their shared DNA and the shared source of their powers, they can't actually harm each other. So while the other X-Men are kind of getting their asses kicked, X-Factor, New Mutants, and the X-Men, they have this massive, super brawny, muscle-driven, broy brawl right here. And it ends with Havoc like questioning, is this dude right? Like, is he really my brother? And then he like gets teleported away. And then we cut to the captured mutants, who have all escaped except for Wolfsbane. Wolfsbane has been recaptured. Then we see a little bit of Boom Boom escaping, a little bit of Richter, and then we're going to end with a little bit of Storm still in a child's body. Then we got a near nude Cyclops, looking pretty beefy, if I might add. And he's talking about, oh, that was my brother. What are we going to do? Cable's like, we're going to take care of business. Does he know that that's his dad? Man, we got to get into Executioner song after this one. Then at the end, we got Cameron Hodge being like, all according to my plan. To be continued in Uncanny X-Men. So that is X Factor number 60 in a nutshell. There's the original copy right there. The colors are better. Obviously they knew how to color for newsprint. We talked about that before. However, newsprint's not perfect. And there's a lot of bleed over. There's a lot of moments in here where you see the ink, the heavy black ink from some of the ads leak over into the page next to it. I love these old ads, by the way. But the colors, they have a little bit more of an effect. That's what I'm talking about right there. Let's go back to find this on the digital. All right, so see that right there. And I think that's way better. I don't know, maybe a bit more muted, but I think that's better as far as the coloring goes. But the artwork's okay. It's nothing super exceptional. The writing's okay. It's nothing super exceptional. It's kind of like a placeholder issue, right? It's just basically X Factor goes to the government. The government, we got another one of those Splatterhouse ads. Great video game. But, basically they show up to government. Government's like, we're not going to do shit. They go to Genosha. So now we got the rescuing mutants in Genosha, and we got brother against brother. That's what's promised there on the cover. And we get it. And it is a nice, fun little battle. Love the coloring on this page. Those magentas really pop out. But yeah, you get a really hyper-masculine, sweaty, semi-nude fight there. They might as well put them in the mud. But it was an all right issue. It was okay. So far, Extinction Agenda is interesting, but it seems like it's kind of overbloated. Look at that. Back to the Future 2 and 3 coming to the NES. I remember that. It was both games together. But it was all right. I'm going to give this one 3, you digs. I think it's pretty decent. What do you think about X Factor number 60, the third part of Extinction Agenda? Do you have fond memories of Extinction Agenda? Right now, it's just kind of really bloated. It's really bloated, right? We're in Act 1, though, and that's the way it's supposed to go. Anyway, this has been Rockin Robbie signing off for Marvel in the 90s. All right. Let's take a look at the comments. Get friends to sign the Thor where Captain America lifts Mjolnir. I don't have that one, William. If I had it, that would probably be one I'd want to get him to sign. But I'll definitely get him to sign the Thor where the New Warriors and Night Thrasher were introduced, because Tom DeFalco is going to be there. I'm going to get Tom DeFalco to sign many Fantastic Four comics for me. Tom DeFalco is a very important creator for me personally because he was the editor-in-chief of Marvel when I was really getting into Marvel, late 80s, early 90s, and he wrote Fantastic Four throughout a big chunk of the 90s, along with Paul Ryan doing the artwork, who sadly we have lost. But that's a very important run to me. So I'm going to get him to sign my 374. That's a very important book to me. My 358, and yeah, more books as well. I hope I get to do his panel as well. Havoc taking a blast right to the face. Yeah, you know it. Hey, what's up, 62 Lefty Blues? What's up, James? It's a few. Is it in Extinction Agenda where they find that out, or is it an Executioner song? There's something inside of my head that makes me think it's Executioner song. He may have been your father, boy, but he wasn't your daddy. Brother versus brother, just like the Super Bowl, dang. I didn't know Cable met his baby self. I mean, that's him, right? Right? That's him. Trade Paper Dad says, I think that X Factor 1 is one of the weakest of the Extinction Agenda. All right. Off topic, best new stuff to read. 20th Century Men. Pink Lemonade, which wraps up this week. Some really great new stuff there. Pink Lemonade, 20th Century Man, Junkyard Joe. I'm liking Mosley a lot. Even though I got a voice message from Manny today, and Manny was like, bro, we're reading Mosley. You said it was the smell of the week. It's got this super hyper chemically smell. What's up with that? So I had to talk to him about it. Tefalco, man, so many ASM books to consider too. Yeah, did he write the Wedding Annual? He might have. Get a sketch from Ron French, you won't regret it. I don't typically do sketches if I have to pay for them. If you have a nice hardcover, sometimes people will like do a sketch for you. I have sketches to show off, and shit like that. Executioner Song is the Strife storyline, right? Yes, it is. It is. A little bit of Apocalypse, but it's Strife, right? Is that where it gets revealed that Cable's... I haven't read that shit since it first came out, y'all. Yeah, Executioner was the mutant bounty hunter, but Executioner's Song, was more about Strife. We'll probably do it after Extinction Agenda, y'all, to be honest with you. I remember loving the Executioner. Figure because you could take the mask off, the hood. Yeah, that was a 12-part storyline in 1992, so 2 years after Extinction Agenda. Yep, Strife. Apocalypse. Boom, boom. Yeah, there it is. Cyclops and Jean Grey begin to suspect that either Strife or Cable is Cyclops' son Nathan Christopher Summers, who Cyclops was forced to abandon and sent into the future after Apocalypse infected him with the techno virus. Yeah, that happens in Executioner's Song. There you go. How much are sketches? Like 100 to 150? No thanks, I can make my own. Well, when you're getting a professional comic book artist to get them, if you're paying 1 to 150, that's actually a really good deal. But no, they can be pricey because these are professionals. But Sinner, if you are able to do your own, hell yeah, more power to you. Rob been rocking the fresh cut and biz casual shirts like a boss lately. Well, thank you very much. It's not a fresh cut. I need to get a haircut, actually. But thank you. I appreciate it. All right, so I have not watched Ant-Man yet. However, we have something very important to show you right now. So you may know this guy right here.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live.
All right, well, that's my buddy Davey. He goes by Crow, I guess, here on YouTube. But he's got some thoughts that he wants to share about Ant-Man. And I just want to let you guys know this. Hey, what's up, Lost in Comics? I'm assuming you're Chris. What's up, Chris? I want you to send me videos. I want you to send me videos that are like this.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live.
And I want you to send me maybe movie reviews or comic book reviews. And if I like them, maybe I'll spotlight them here on our Rockin Robbie Live. And to kick us off is my buddy Davey with his thoughts on Ant-Man. So I hope you enjoy this as much as I did. And you guys should definitely follow him whenever you can.
So Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania came out yesterday, and I kind of think it's stupid. They're advertising as if the whole movie is in the quantum realm, and that seems really stupid to me because the quantum realm so far has just been brown and yellow blobs, and I think that what the MCU has done really well with Ant-Man at least has been Well, and I think about it, they kind of only do one thing well, where they just like make big things small, make small things big, and that's all they do. They just make buildings small, and it's like, wow, that was great. What do we do the next 20 minutes of footage, and they just don't do anything because the movies kind of sucked. The first one was alright. I think the first one was really good. I think the second one was okay. I liked the big salt thing. When the thing was salt and it was big. The big salt shaker. That was cool. Yeah, I think there's nothing interesting in this one. Because with it being in the quantum realm, they remove every chance to do any of that. Because everything in the quantum realm, like I said, is just brown blobs. They can do dirt. They can make dirt big. That'd be cool. There's like buildings in it, I guess. I watched one trailer. I watched 50 seconds of a trailer on TikTok. So I don't actually know what the movie's going to be about. But I saw the scene where he smashes the building. Is that all they're going to do? They're just going to make him big and he's like Hulk and he just destroys stuff and then they get... I saw there was a car commercial and Stinger was in the driver's seat and Ant-Man was mad. They could do that in the movie. That'd be cool. Yeah, and I'm not going to see it. I think it's going to be stupid. They can't do anything. They're just big and then they get little. And that's the whole movie? There's no fighting? I don't know. I'm kind of over Marvel movies at this point. I'm not going to see it. Don't watch it. Unless you want to. Make up your mind. But I think it's stupid. You shouldn't watch it. Don't waste your time. Go knit. That'd be probably more interesting. More fun as an opportunity. Okay, that was fun.
So those are honest thoughts from somebody who's only watched half of a trailer for Ant-Man. But it does kind of get into this question I want to ask you before we take this next break. And during this break, I want you to honestly think about it and answer it. Are you over these Marvel movies? Mike, the voice Matthews, big superhero fan, was like, meh, he loves Kang. Avengers Forever is one of his favorite comics. He loves Kang. He's not excited to see it. I didn't watch it. I don't even think Jelani's watched it. Brooks ain't seen it. Brooks probably didn't even know it's out. None of us have watched it. And Davey is a Marvel fan. He wears a Stan Lee shirt. You know what I'm saying? He wears a Stan Lee shirt. So regardless of if you've seen the movie and what you think about it, do you know how many people are over it? Like Davey was? And if you want to see more Davey, let me know. Just say Davey. Throw that out in the chat because you're going to see more Davey because I like him. We're going to be right back here on Rockin Robbie Live with some fun stuff. I lost the button. Where are we at? All right. We'll be right back here on Rockin Robbie Live.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said.
Hey there, Dynamite fans. Come join us here at The Experience this Monday, February 27th, 6 p.m. Eastern, our usual time. We're going to have all your favorites. Dynamite, Marvel, DC. I'm sure we'll talk about a lot of stuff. I don't know, the guys talk about nonsense all the time, whether it's with food or sports or whatever. I kind of zone out. But it'll be a great time nonetheless. Remember, it's the 27th, Monday, 6 p.m., only on The Experience. See you then.
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
Hey everybody, welcome back here to Pop Culture Philosophers and to Rockin Robbie Live. I am your host, Rockin Robbie. How is everybody doing? We've had a great show tonight already, the DC sneak peek, Marvel in the 90s, and we've been talking about Ant-Man, even though I haven't seen it yet. But I asked you, before we left for the last break, are you experiencing MCU fatigue? Are you even excited for Ant-Man? Is it not a rush for you to go see these movies anymore? I feel that way. I am very excited to see Kang. I want to see us launch into something new. But from the reaction that I've gotten so far, I don't feel like that's what they're doing. I think the MCU in Phase 4 was directionless. I think they were just throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing if it was done, what would stick, right? And some stuff may have stuck. They have things that I really liked about Phase 4. But Phase 5, I don't know if Ant-Man's going to quite get it there for them. Guardians has a lot of potential, but Guardians is more of the ending of something and not launching into something new. We are still waiting to launch into something new. And I don't get the vibe that Ant-Man gives that to us. So I want to know your thoughts. Regardless of whether or not you've seen Ant-Man, regardless of what you thought about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. And let's get this out of the way. Didn't really like the first Ant-Man film that much. I really did like the second one. I'm excited for this one. I want to see it, but I didn't go watch it first day. Last time I did that was Wakanda Forever. I was disappointed. I did that for Shang-Chi. I was disappointed. I did that for Doctor Strange. I wasn't disappointed. I did that for Love and Blunder. I was severely disappointed. So, I don't know. I want to know what you think. Meanwhile, you can find podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com. You can check me out on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. You can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Instagram and on Facebook. And if you're on Facebook, join the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can get $15 in Whatnot credit at whatnot.com/invite/TheRockinRobbie. That's for new accounts only. And you can save 10% on every order forever over at dynamicforces.com when you enter the code Robbie. They got lots of cool stuff to check out over there. Coming up here on the channel, well, first of all, we got PCP mystery boxes now available. Only 10 are available for this week, $30 including shipping. They'll be filled with comics and other fun surprises. Email us at popculturephilosophers@gmail.com if you're interested. Also, if you want to send in a short clip of you reviewing a movie or a comic book or just saying something like, my name is this and you're watching Rockin Robbie Live, please send it to me at popculturephilosophers@gmail.com. I'd love to use it here on the channel. Tomorrow night for PCP Movie Night, we're talking about the cult classic Cyborg, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. But before that, check out Scarpad Sci-Fi Sojourns as he talks about the underappreciated Danny Boyle flick Sunshine. And Saturday over at Dylan's Horror Show, we're talking about Two Evil Eyes. And then after tomorrow night's Cyborg, we're taking a week off, but when we come back, it's March Madness time in conjunction with DHS. We'll be talking about Clown, Tenebrae, The Black Cat, Dressed to Kill, Triangle, Don't Torture a Duckling, American Psycho, and Itchy, the Killer. We now pause for station identification. All right, looking at the comments here. Dave's Collection says, I watched it with my kids and liked it. Talking about Ant-Man. A lot of support for Davey. Lost in Comics says, I'll watch it, probably enjoy it to a degree, but I'm not excited about what Marvel is doing lately. Film, TV, and especially comics. Wow. Steph says, I'm not burnt out, but I don't have that day one excitement anymore. Center24 says, I've waited decades for Marvel to make movies. I was so sick of DC Batman movies, and I'd rather stab my own eyes with nails than go back to that. Big Llama Show, what is up? Marvel is just in a slump. They are still good, just not automatically hits. Two Gun Pedro says, hit that like button if you haven't already. I second that emotion. Also, if you want to help support the channel, you can do so at patreon.com/PCP. However, you can also do so with the super chat. We haven't had any super chats tonight. I really want to sing the Hellboy song. My Road Trip and Adventure channel is here. I got a question for you, Road Trip. Every time you pop on my Friday show with Rex from Dynamite, he calls you Bueller. But you're not Bueller, are you? Are you Bueller? I don't think you're Bueller. Why would Bueller be here and not be on the Comics with Bueller channel? Makes no sense. So I think you're somebody different, and I think I've mentioned it to Rex, but just like the Kevin Feige thing, you can only correct somebody so many times before you're just like, whatever, say it fucking wrong then. That's what I do. Dave's Collection says, this was my first movie back in the theater since Endgame, and it was okay, not the best, but the third Iron Man movie wasn't the best either. I like Iron Man 3. Steph says, we all know Fantastic Four and X-Men will be hype. I hope so. Lost in Comics says, they were batting such a high average and we weren't used to having stinkers from Marvel. Then they dropped a few of them in a small span of time. Yep, you're right about that. Is Ant-Man 3 a new phase? Yes. It is the start of Phase 5. Twitch says, I am still excited and the mid-credit sequence has me hype as hell. Eric says, fatigue? Nah, excitement is a little less than before, though. Brian says, I want to see it just for the 3D. I really liked the Doctor Strange movie. I liked the Doctor Strange movie, too. Ah, shit, Chris. Currently prepping for a Declan Shalvey interview the week after next. Since I'm here, anything interesting y'all would want to know about Declan or ask him? Dude's done so much. Steph says ask him about Warren Ellis. I would not recommend doing that on air. He may be uncomfortable with that. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend asking him about that. But I would love to know if Injection would ever have the possibility of finishing, but that might be an uncomfortable conversation for him. I want to know. You can ask him, Rockin Robbie of Pop Culture Philosophers, who is a big fan of your work and loves Savage Town, by the way. So many people have not read Savage Town. We need another one of those. I want to know this. I want to know, are you a digital artist or do you like, I know he does both. I'm pretty sure he does both. But there is a grit and a texture to his work and a cleanness that I love. I want to know what is his technique? First of all, does he prefer digital or pen to paper? And what is his technique, right? But more importantly, how important I'm formulating the question right now. Rockin Robbie from PCP wants to know, Declan, how do you balance clean precision in line work and in storytelling with texture and grit? Because he does both so well. He portrays clean, fine cleanness, and he portrays this grit and this texture. But at the same time, there's an intense movement and momentum to his work. Artistically, I love it. So there you go. Ask him that. And I want to know, when are we going to get an OGN all from Declan? Coloring and everything. I want 126 pages at least of Declan Shalvey writing, penciling, inking, coloring, lettering maybe. Maybe you can get Clayton to letter it, okay? But that's what I want. Well, we got Old Dog. Never mind. Is Jordy coloring Old Dog or is he coloring Old Dog? Old Dog. Ask him how he balances texture and grit and precise line work in motion. Thank God he's not on my channel. If because I'd be like, bruh, so like, I want to ask you about Warren Ellis, but I'm not. So what kind of fucking pen nib do you use? Anyway. That's dope as fuck, though. That's a score, Declan. That's awesome. Good going, bro. He's such a fantastic writer, and Old Dog is fucking amazing. He's getting better at that. How about this? Ask him this. When we gonna get some Spawn? Can we get Declan to do a Spawn book? Ask him what he's excited about for Alien. Shit. $62 Lefty Blue says, I stopped at Endgame. Nick from Comic Culture says, not experiencing MCU fatigue, but Phase 4 was so scattered. Every movie launched some grand new concept, and it was hard to connect the dots back to the larger narrative, if there is any. That makes sense. Eric says, MCU feels similar to people's reactions to the Krakoa era of the X-Men. There's niche things for groups of people, but little that is trying to please everyone. Lost in Comics says, it's not easy to sustain what the MCU started, plus the DC buzz is real, and we love new things. Twitch says, Phase 4 was about expansion of the MCU. Phase 5 will be firmly about multiverse and closing out older threads. Chokos is here. What is up, my man? Phase 4 was a jarring transition in many ways, says Steph. I agree. Hey, what is up, OUG? Station. Yo, 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 comic community. How's your Sunday? I just think the Warren Ellis conversation would be uncomfortable for Declan. I don't think that's where you want to go. But that's what I want to know. I want to know, number one, like if I knew him personally, like if we were having a conversation off screen, I'd be like, bro, you and Warren are going to like work out the rest of Injection? Injection's fucking amazing. But Declan's come into his own as a writer, and he's a fantastic artist. So that's what I want to know. When you have the opportunity to have an artist of the caliber of Declan Shalvey, you have to ask him some certain questions about his technique, about his process. And in particular, he blows me away with clean and precise line work and clean motion and storytelling capability, but he's able to add a grit and a texture. I would also like to know how much of an influence he had on the character of Mr. Knight. This is one thing you can ask him without really getting too into the Warren stuff, is be like, who had more input on that? Like, what was your level of input on the character of Mr. Knight? Because that was something new that Warren Ellis and Declan did together was create the Mr. Knight persona. And I really would like to know more about that. I think that's some of his best work for Declan. And I think the Moon Knight run with Warren Ellis is fucking phenomenal. And then Injection is so good. I just want more of it. Old Dog is a lot of fun. He's doing it all in Old Dog except lettering. And it's probably Clayton, right? Yeah, totally. Injection is great. You may, like, I get what you're saying, OUG, but Declan in particular may not want to publicly really talk about the Warren Ellis thing right now. I will. Warren Ellis is one of my favorite writers, and I want Injection to finish. Not just for Warren's sake, but it's not for Warren's sake at all. It's for my sake, right? I want that goddamn story to complete, and I want Declan to be able to do it. Like, that shit is so fucking awesome. Psychotronic Squirt Gun's in the house. Been a Robbie fan for years, but never said hi. Well, station, Psychotronic. Glad to see you here. I think I might have a nice way to transition into the Warren Ellis conversation. I'll feel it out that night. That's a good thing to do. Be wary of it, though. And you might even want to ask him before you guys go live. That's something I typically will do. You know, like, hey man, like, all right, now that it's all said and done, and I'm not going to give you details of the conversation, but last time we had Alex on the channel, Alex Packnadell, who's a fantastic writer, and we had him on the channel way back in the day, like a couple years ago. We had him back on a couple months ago, right? It was right before All Against All came out, right? So I guess it was at the end of last year. And before we went live, I was like, all right, Alex, what the fuck, man? Where's Giga? I was like, where the fuck is Giga, bruh? Where is Giga? And he was talking to me, and he was like, bruh, I was like, I just want to get this out of the way before we go live. Like, I don't want to put you on the spot or anything like that. But, like, I just want to know personally what the fuck is up. And I could have asked him at any fucking point. But that being said, okay. We have a very exciting conversation. We have a couple of exciting conversations. We have more than a couple of exciting conversations that are being lined up as we speak. And I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll just say maybe some of the names rhyme with things like Pick Bragnetti or Bullen Kun or Vom Key may want to come back to the show or whatever. Was Declan one of the artists on the Ellis Secret Avengers arc? John Cassidy was. Did he have he had a different artist every time, didn't he? There was a different artist for each issue. John Cassidy did one. He did like a Moon Knight centric one, I remember. And that was when like Warren kind of started to get... I really love Warren Ellis's interpretation of Moon Knight. And the thing is, we've seen the Mr. Knight thing explored and how that connects with the Mr. Knight to like Mark Spector, and then like the Alan Grant or Stephen Grant. They play with that so much, but there was like that mystical version of Moon Knight that nobody else has played with really. I would like to see. Don't jinx it. Yeah, you know it. Well, right now we got some ones. I mean, they're all going to happen. Trust me. All right. We're planning right now on having Cullen Bunn at some point on the channel this year. We plan on having Rom V back at some point this year. And we plan on having Nick Cagnetti on the show at some point this year. There you go. Now we'll see if they actually happen. Well, they better now. I just put them into the fucking universe, right? They better happen now. I really like the new Moon Knight, Aaron. I really, really do. Moon Knight, and it lost me for a moment. And I remember getting a criticism in the comments, and I haven't been responding to the comments like I should. Because I look at the comments like in between like breaks at work and shit like that, and I don't always have time to respond. I need to make time in my schedule to respond to comments. I need to do that. I also need to make time in my schedule to comment on my fellow YouTubers' videos because I watch them and I love them, but I hardly ever comment on them. So I need to do, we all need to be better. Every day we need to strive to be better, right? We do. 100%. And I want to be better. Where the fuck was I going with this? What was I saying? It doesn't matter. Anyway, any chance you could get Jeremy Hahn on the show? Just got his Kickstarter book. It was awesome. Yeah, I mean, well, there's a lot of people I'd like to have on the show, but we do, there was a time where I was trying to do one every week, and it just almost came close to burning me out. I don't want to burn out anymore. I want to be as most of Rockin Robbie as I can be for you guys. Oh, the new Moon Knight. So, like, I got this comment, and it was like, yeah, he's into a book, and if it just dips for a little bit, then he just starts shitting on it. And I'm like, bro, I don't like shit on books, right? Do I shit on books? I don't think I do. Like, occasionally it's fun to just shit on Nick Spencer's Spider-Man week to week or whatever, but that was actually very stressful for me. It was very stressful. And at the time I was doing the show with Jim, the top 10 video that we did. And I wanted to keep up with it or whatnot. And I don't read X-Men books for the most part because I don't want to keep bitching about them. And, but like Moon Knight dipped down for me. It did. It dipped down in quality. And I was really disappointed in what Jed McKay and Lou Pacino were doing with that book. Like, it just kind of flattened out for a moment. But they picked that shit right back up, and I stuck with it, and I had the faith to stick with it. And Moon Knight is one of my favorite Marvel comics, period, right now. That's Dr. Alan Grant. He didn't spend 8 years in dino digging school to be called Steven. You're right about that. Sorry. Sorry, Sam Neill. Hey, Mike Coonrad's in the house. I dig Warren Ellis's Moon Knight, but his best work, in my opinion, is Planetary. When I said his best work, I meant Declan. 100% Warren Ellis's best work is Planetary. It's one of my favorite comics of all time. So yes, I agree. Lars, that's a question for another person. I don't have the answer for that. I have not seen The Empty Man yet, Mark, but we're planning on trying to get Cullen on the channel for a very special thing. I cannot wait to tell you guys about it. But remember this moment right now, because this is the moment I wanted to tell you about it, but couldn't. And then when it happens and I get to tell you about it, we're going to talk about it. Nick says, Moon Knight is Marvel, and we all know about you and Marvel. Yeah, here's the thing. This cracks me up. 1 week, I'm called a shill for Marvel. The next week, I'm called a Marvel hater. The next week, I'm called a shill for Marvel. The week after that, I'm called a Marvel hater. I love it. I love it. It's because all I can do is read a comic and let you know what I think about it. That's all I promise. This is the show where I read a lot of comics and I let you know what I thought about them. And my opinions change. And I have no fear in changing my opinion on a book or a movie or anything when I re-experience it. Right? Like, we just had a great conversation on Dylan's Horror Show last night about Pearl. When I first watched Pearl, I was slightly disappointed. I liked it, but it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be at the time with my expectations. Excuse me. But last night, I had a whole different story, and I appreciated the movie more. I went from a 4.5 you digs on my initial review to a 5 you digs, thinking it was a near flawless film, and bumping it over Barbarian as one of my favorites of the year. So, the weekly comic book review is my thoughts while reading a stack of comics week to week, right? you'll get more nuanced interpretations and thoughts and feelings when I revisit something, which I don't have as much time for. Time management's become an issue. It's not become an issue, but I've had other things pop into my life that I deem more important or as important as other things. So we're still working that out. But, and people used to always ask me all the time, how can you read and watch so much? And it's because you make time for it. You make time for the things that are important for you. And never feel undervalued because you don't make time to watch movies or read all the comics. That's why I'm here. To let you know where to go. Sorry I don't have any information on Ant-Man, but fuck it. For one more time, let's just hear Davey's thoughts on Ant-Man as someone who's never seen the movie and only watched half a trailer.
So Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania came out yesterday, and I kind of think it's stupid. They're advertising as if like the whole movie is in the quantum realm, and that seems really stupid to me because the quantum realm so far has just been brown and yellow blobs, and I think that what the MCU has done really well with, if Ant-Man at least, has been like, well, and I think about it, they kind of only do one thing well, where they just like make big things small, make small things big, and that's all they do. They just make buildings small, and it's like, wow, that was great. What do we do the next 20 minutes of footage, and they just don't do anything because the movies kind of sucked. The first one was alright. I think the first one was really good. I think the second one was okay. I liked the big salt thing. When the thing was salt and it was big. The big salt shaker. That was cool. I think there's nothing interesting in this one. Because with it being in the quantum realm, they remove every chance to do any of that. Because everything in the quantum realm, like I said, is just brown blobs. They can do dirt. They can make dirt big. That'd be cool. There's like buildings in it, I guess. I watched one trailer. I watched 50 seconds of a trailer on TikTok. So I don't actually know what the movie's going to be about. But I saw the scene where he smashes the building. Is that all they're going to do? They're just going to make him big and he's like Hulk and he just destroys stuff and then they get... I saw there was a car commercial and Stinger was in the driver's seat and Ant-Man was mad. They could do that in the movie. That'd be cool. Yeah, and I'm not going to see it. I think it's going to be stupid. They can't do anything. They're just big and then they get little. And that's the whole movie? There's no fighting? I don't know. I'm kind of over Marvel movies at this point. I'm not going to see it. Don't watch it. Unless you want to. Make up your own mind. But I think it's stupid. You shouldn't watch it. Don't waste your time. Go knit. That'd be probably more interesting. More fun as an opportunity. Okay, that was fun.
My favorite thing about that whole thing was when he goes, they're just big and they get small. That's what Ant-Man's about. That's stupid. That's awesome. I want to know your thoughts about movies, about Ant-Man. Give me your thoughts, your spoiler-filled thoughts on Ant-Man. Send them to me. In 2 weeks, we may share them here on Rockin Robbie Live. Send me your clips. I want clips saying, hey, I'm blah, 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 blah. You're watching Rockin Robbie Live. Send me that. I want movie reviews. I want comic reviews. Send them to me. I want this to be more community-based now. That's how we're going to do it. All right. If you know me, you know a couple things. One of the things you know about me is I love cereal. I love Frosted Flakes cereal. Over the last few weeks, I've had the opportunity to try out 2 new flavors of Frosted Flakes. Strawberry milkshake and cinnamon French toast. First of all, strawberry milkshake. All right. Frosted Flakes has one of the best levels of sweetness. It's really sweet. And textures. They keep their texture in the milk forever. But then they do get soggy, but there's more of a length of time. It's not like Fruity Pebbles or Cocoa Pebbles where you got like 30 fucking seconds to eat that shit at the perfect amount of texture. Frosted Flakes keeps that texture. So in both of these cereals, the texture, the feeling, the vibe, the sweetness is great. But do they taste the way they're supposed to taste? Strawberry milkshake Frosted Flakes. Just call them strawberry. That's fine. I have this way crazy new obsession with strawberry flavored everything. I had a strawberry flavored Monster before we went on the air. I'm loving Everything's strawberry flavored right now. The strawberry flavor in this is powerful, it's pungent, and it's awesome. They don't need to call it milkshake. Obviously, we're using milk. These are delicious. Let me give it a smell test. If you don't like artificial, like strawberry milk flavored type shit, you're not going to like this, but I do. 5 ya digs. 5 ya digs. Cinnamon French toast. All right. We have cinnamon frosted flakes. They exist. They're good. They're very strong. This is a less intense version of that cinnamon flavor because it's balanced out with the light sweetness of the French toast, more of the maple syrup. This is like maple cinnamon is what it is, but it works, and it works for me. It's not quite on this level, but it's like on this level. So this gets 5 ya digs. This gets 4.5 ya digs. And that's what I think about that. And we're doing a taste test. So Mike the Voice Matthews hooked me up with this candy bar. It's called Flake. It's from the UK, from Cadbury. It claims to be the crumbliest, flakiest milk chocolate in existence. I didn't think that that was something I wanted, but we'll see. Cadbury is a good company. Now I hear that the UK stuff is better. We're opening it up. It is a bar of... It looks like some type of animal poo or like a stick. It looks more like a stick. Crumbliest. Flakiest. Oh, wow. It tastes like Cadbury chocolate. It's decent milk chocolate, which is fine. I prefer dark chocolate. But it is crumbly as shit. I got chocolate flakes all over my desk right now. What the hell? Oh, great. And now it's in... My desktop is glass, and there's this gap in between it and the... it's fucking everywhere. That's going to drop it down, actually. Okay, so it's a decent enough milk chocolate flavor. I guess it's more of a texture thing. I don't need my chocolate to be flaky or anything like that, but it actually did provide a good texture. I would prefer some crunch to it, though. Some almonds, some almond bits maybe, or some cacao bits would really work in there. Maybe even just some peanuts or cashews or something. That would probably work. But since I just took one bite and literally my desk is covered in little pieces of chocolate, that's bullshit. So I would have given it a 4, but I'll give it a 3 because now it's fucking everywhere. That's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. Kind of annoying. Aaron says, just came out of Ant-Man. It was good. Peace out, Lost in Comics. How you have a good one. Mike says, Quantumania was decent. I love both the mid and the end credit sequences. Wait, was that a review? I asked him. I was like, because he was talking to me about why he didn't want to see Ant-Man. I was like, I need you to do a video for me, and I'm going to put it up on Rockin Robbie Live. Hey, Hammer Time Holshoe's in the house. What is up, my man? Station. I've never read any Ant-Man stuff, to be honest, even though I do like Marvel, but I enjoyed the first 2 films and love Paul Rudd, and we'll go see the third at some point. Let's go see it, John. Me and you haven't gone to see a movie in a long time. Let's go see Ant-Man 3. I want to see it. Everybody here has been giving it an average of 3.5, 3.69. So, Carrie, you know I want you to send me a comic review, and you don't think I fucking use swear words? Come on. Hammer Time says, only found the strawberry at my store. Love the damn strawberry milk that comes from it. Yeah, that is a bonus. You know, the strawberry milk that gets left over, it is good. This one's good. It's like maple cinnamon, but it's like if you've ever had cinnamon Frosted Flakes, they're really like way too powerful. And this one kind of tones that down because of the delicate sweetness of the maple syrup, I would say. Eric says, we've become so spoiled when it comes to comic movies. I'd have killed to have these movies when I was younger. It's okay to expect more, but try to appreciate what we get. I get that, but at the same time, Eric, we do have so many. So we have more to compare it to now. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, oh no, the crumbly chocolate crumbles all over. Yeah, you know it. All right, show and tell time. I want to spotlight a friend of mine, Jay. She is such a fucking fantastic person. She hooked me up with this cool, super cool print that she got at Comic-Con. Scream of Wheat. So it's Ghostface with some oatmeal swirlers, basically. Do you like breakfast? That's really cool, and I appreciate that. Jay also hooked me up with these Aquaman socks. I'm excited to try those out and wear them. Then, I haven't been getting a lot of movies lately, but I pre-ordered this one and was actually surprised when it showed up at my doorstep. But it's Dark Glasses, the latest one from Dario Argento. I reviewed this back when it came out in October, and I even cut that out so you can check out my full thoughts on that video. Picked up some new comics from the dollar bin. A Marvel Tales 142, but I picked this up because this is a reprint of Spider-Man number 5. Steve Ditko, Stan Lee, I love this Doctor Doom story where Flash Thompson is trying to scare Peter Parker by dressing up as Spider-Man. So Doctor Doom, though, is trying to capture Spider-Man, so he winds up capturing Flash Thompson. This is fun stuff. And I wanted to have the Marvel Tales so I could get a little bit more of that color on that newsprint come through. And finally got this. Very excited to get this. It's a Batman 400. It's in really rough shape. But y'all, that Bill Sienkiewicz artwork, it's got Art Adams. It's got Brian Boland. It's got John Byrne, Mike Grell, Carl Kiesel, Joe Kubert, Rick Leonardi, George Perez, Steve Rude, Bill Sienkiewicz, obviously, Bernie Wrightson, with a special introduction by Stephen King. Y'all, we're going to dive into this one. I got my Superman 400. Now I got Batman 400. Very excited. And yes, how fucking awesome is that piece? Pick this one up. I don't have this, and I'm very surprised because I have so many Star Trek books, but this is a hardcover adaptation of the Star Trek motion picture. It's in pretty decent shape, but I got to get a poster of this for my place because I just love that movie poster. Nice picture of Gene Roddenberry at the end. This is written by Gene Roddenberry, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm excited to have that. So a couple months ago, we did that show about the PBS documentary No Straight Lines, The Rise of Queer Comics. We were talking a lot about Alison Bechdel that night, so I finally got me a copy of Fun Home. Have not read it yet, but I'm very excited to dive into this one because I hear nothing but good things about this book. Obviously, a very successful graphic novel that got turned into a very successful Broadway play. And I picked this up this week. Don't know much about it, but it's Alex Toth, Edge of Genius, Volume 1, 160 pages of classic art, digitally remastered. Beautiful Alex Toth books. I've been picking up a lot of his work lately just to get into it. His artwork is absolutely amazing, and I've always respected Alex Toth, but I've never really dived too much into his work, and I'm changing that. This is a big thing that I'm getting into lately, has been getting into the work of Alex Toth, And that's what we got for show and tell. Is there anything else? Oh, I got this. This was one of my Valentine's presents from a wonderful lady. But this is like, it's not Lego, but it's like a fake Lego. But this is an anglerfish. And when I was building this, I had no idea what the hell it was. I thought I was supposed to be building a T-Rex. I was so damn confused. But yeah, pretty cute. And way more difficult to build this than I wanted it to be. It made me feel a little bit old, to be honest with you. All right, that concludes show and tell, but that does bring us to our very own Final Five. Hey everybody, I'm Rockin Robbie here on Pop Culture Philosophers for Rockin Robbie Live. We're doing the Final Five tonight. We're continuing down this 1995 Fleer Ultra Spider-Man set. We're in the team-ups. How about Falcon? That 1995 Falcon action right there. Pretty decent card from Peter Bollinger. Gambit. It's Gambit. That's a weird looking card. That's from the Hildebrands. That's when you do kind of like sort of realistic fantasy painted artwork, Gambit's a hard costume to figure out. This one's dope as shit. John Estes doing Ghost Rider. Look at that Ghost Rider card, y'all. That's fire. Damn. Nick Choll's doing a very muscular Hawkeye. And this is one of those Hawkeye, dude, look at Hawkeye's ass type things. Like, that's incredibly insane. How about a Human Torch from Kathleen Thole that is breaking all of his bones to get into the pose that he's in, but it's very like Greek god. I really like that. So that's pretty dope. Out of all of these cards, my favorite is by far this Ghost Rider right there, but Hawkeye, that ass. Anyway, that has been your very own Final Five. All right, everybody, we're dipping out here for Rockin Robbie Live. There will not be a Rockin Robbie Live next week, but after that, we come back for at least 4 consecutive weeks of Rockin Robbie Live. So if you want to encapsulate everything, DC's got books out this week. Some of them are decent. Marvel in the 90s, X Factor 60, one of the less interesting parts of Extinction Agenda so far. Davey doesn't want to watch Ant-Man, doesn't know anything about it. I don't even think he knows Kang is in it. Cinnamon French Toast Frosted Flakes are really good, 4.5. Strawberry Frosted Flakes are like 5, you digs. They're really freaking good. And this is the most crumbly chocolate I've ever had. There's chocolate all over my shit. It's all over. Anyway, thank you all so much for checking out the video tonight. We are dipping out here on Pop Culture Philosophers, but do remember, tomorrow night, join us for Cyborg on PCP Movie Night. But before that, for Scarpad Sci-Fi Sojourns, Sunshine, that's alliteration for you. And then Saturday over at Dylan's Horror Show for Two Evil Eyes. On behalf of everybody here at Pop Culture Philosophers, thanks for rocking with us. Station Pop Pop. Are we still live? Boom! Hey, Twitch, we really appreciate the super chat. I got a message.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win in life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I can change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win in life.
Yo, I never miss, that's fact. Taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat. Put me in the ring, you go out in the bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mat like, yeah. I got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill. I know life's short and I wanna live real, but
How's it supposed to feel?
how's it supposed to feel, PCP Army?
How's it supposed to feel?
How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? Yo, they wanna say my name, but they hold it back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do this fact. I ain't got no shame, I just lose you like I go crazy. Nah, bitch, I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right, the fuel's got me hazy. Not to impact all these dreams I've been chasing. I got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as we spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? Hey Twitch, thank you so much for the super chat. We really do appreciate it. The end is never the end. Sometimes it's the beginning. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin, son of a demon and a nana who had the sex with the demon, but was raised by Professor Broom. Now he fights evil and monsters. Shit. Now he fights with the man who's a fish named Eve. Now he fights with a fire starter named Bliss and an ectoplasmic mess named Johann. PPRD. Ah! All right, everybody, we got a taste test to do. So Mike the Voice Matthews hooked me up with yet another chip that I will probably not like. So Wrap Snacks. They're pretty good. They got some interesting flavor combinations. Now, this is the Wrap Snacks from Little Baby called All In Flavor. It's salt and vinegar, barbecue, onion, garlic, and more. I hate salt and vinegar chips. So there you go. Also, I have never heard any of Lil Baby's music, but there's a quote from Lil Baby. It says, "No matter what you are going through in life, remember family is everything. Stay solid, stay woke, and take advantage of every opportunity that is provided to you. Because like they say in life, nothing lasts forever." I guess you take advantage of everything by putting every goddamn chip flavor on one chip. Now, I've never listened to Lil Baby. So I want to hear a Lil Baby song. You guys are not going to be able to hear it, obviously. Obviously. But I want to hear something. So the first thing that pops up is California Breeze.
When you're launching a new product with a tight deadline,
An ad.
2 weeks?
Grammarly's tones.
All right, I'm listening to a Lil Baby song for the first time. Oh shit, y'all could hear that? Fuck. We're about to be demonetized, but thank you, Chocos, for the other super chat. We really appreciate that. That makes up for it. Thank you. Hey, yo, let me tell you about this little man I know. It's little baby. He was going so fast doing this sing-songy rap. I couldn't quite keep it up in my mind. But then I saw there was some subtitle options on the YouTube video. I do appreciate it, but then it didn't help me very much to understand what he was saying. Oh, I'm just lying now, 'cause I understood what his pain was. Little baby, you know how I do it for you. Ninja Power Rangers, I love that. I liked when Adam was a frog Zord. That makes no sense. Who gives a shit? All right, we're going to try these chips. I did not realize that y'all were going to be able to hear the damn music. Like, yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's try these chips from Lil Baby. Y'all heard the music? Did y'all like hear it through my headphones, or did you just hear it blatantly? It smells like salt and vinegar chips and barbecue chips all mixed in one. Man. Ugh. I'm gonna try another. It's fine at first. Ah, this is gross as fuck. Ah. I love vinegar. I love vinegar like on like malt vinegar on like fish, you know, like fried fish. I love it. I cannot stand salt and vinegar chips. I'm going to try it again. It is really good at first. Let me get a big honker. Or at least a folded. Oh, 2 folded ones. Those are my favorite chips. All right. I love the flavor of it at first. It's really good. And then it's just nothing but vinegar. And that's where it hits me. It's good. Then it calms down. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm going to have to share my ad revenue with Lil Baby. All right, so. Yeah. All right. Here's the thing. I hate salt and vinegar chips. And for like a good 10 seconds, it's so intensely salt and vinegar chips. However, it's actually quite pleasant at first and on the afterburn. Like right now, I feel like I had a good chip and I want to try another one. Like right now, I want to try another one. That's good. Bah! That's gross. Now it's good again. Okay. Now I feel like I had a good chip again. That's intense. I kind of like it. I kind of don't, and I do. Love-hate. Love-hate, Chocos. That's what you said. Yeah. I'll give it 4, you digs. It's not bad. I'll probably finish that bag. But every time I take a bite, I'm going to be like, that's really good. Bah! So let's do it again. One more time. One more again. Barbecue, garlic, onion. Yeah. Ah! No. No. Vinegar. Bah! Bah! Oh, no. Ugh. All right. No more than 2 little chips at a time. That was too much. That was too much. All right. Y'all listen to Lil Baby and eat his chips. Anyway, we're dipping out. Love you guys. Station. The afterburn on that one actually lasted a lot longer. I should not have just... Now there's a piece of me that thinks... No. No. We're not going to do it. I wanted to do it again. But we're not. Deuces.
So Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania came out yesterday, and I kind of think it's stupid. They're advertising as if like the whole movie is in the quantum realm, and that seems really stupid to me because the quantum realm so far has just been brown and yellow blobs, and I think that what the MCU has done really well with, if Ant-Man at least, has been like... Well, and I think about it, they kind of only do one thing well, where they just like make big things small, make small things big, and that's all they do. They just make buildings small, and it's like, wow, that was great. What do we do the next 20 minutes of footage, and they just don't do anything because the movies kind of sucked. The first one was alright. I think the first one was really good. I think the second one was okay. I liked the big salt thing. When the thing was salt and it was big. The big salt shaker. That was cool. I think there's nothing interesting in this one. Because with it being in the quantum realm, they remove every chance to do any of that. Because everything in the quantum realm, like I said, is just brown blobs. They can do dirt. They can make dirt big. That'd be cool. There's buildings in it, I guess. I watched one trailer. I watched 50 seconds of a trailer on TikTok. So I don't actually know what the movie's going to be about, but I saw the scene where he smashes the building. Is that all they're going to do? They're just going to make him big and he's like Hulk and he just destroys stuff, and then they get... I saw there was a car commercial and Stinger was in the driver's seat and Ant-Man was mad. They could do that in the movie. That'd be cool. Yeah, and I'm not going to see it. I think it's going to be stupid. They can't do anything. They're just big and then they get little. And that's the whole movie? There's no fighting. I don't know. I'm kind of over Marvel movies at this point. I'm not gonna see it. Don't watch it. Unless you want to. Make up your mind. But I think it's stupid. You shouldn't watch it. Don't waste your time. Go knit. That'd be probably more interesting, more fun as an opportunity. Okay, that was fun.